I wanted you to hear from Rachel. Rachel, some of you may know Rachel. She's from Bethel. She's a managing attorney for policy and partnerships at a nonprofit legal services organization in New York City that provides free legal representation to unaccompanied immigrant children. She has been an attorney for immigrants' rights and deportation defense since 2014, and she herself is a proud daughter of a refugee. I met her parents earlier, so her family made a move about 5 minutes ago, 5 minutes away to Reading, but she's lifelong raised in Bethel. So let's just get to Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I can't follow Juan. That was amazing.
You can just speak directly into the flat part. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Juan, for talking to us about what you and your family have been going through. I want to talk to you guys today about a narrative that we've heard a lot recently, that we should differentiate between the good immigrants who follow the rules and the illegals who somehow don't. So you've heard this before. My grandfather came to America the right way. He followed the rules. Not like these Venezuelans, not like the illegals coming across the border today. That implies that some immigrants are worthy of our compassion and respect and are worthy of the American dream, and others are not. So here's the problem with that. As a lawyer, as an American, I believe in due process and equal protection under the law.
Yeah.
Those rights are guaranteed to all people in the U.S. under the 14th Amendment. They're being violated every day. And immigration laws in this country change constantly, often overnight, with no notice. The system makes law-abiding immigrants illegal with the stroke of a pen for reasons that make no sense. I'll give you an analogy. Imagine that the speed limit on Route 302 has always been 40 miles per hour. Been that way for decades. The sign says 40 miles per hour. I drive there every day. I know the rules. I go the speed limit. I wake up one morning. There's no sign, but the speed limit has been reduced to 15 miles per hour. There's no sign. I didn't know about it, but it's 15 miles per hour now. I'm going over the speed limit. I'm getting pulled over by the state trooper. That's what it's like to be an immigrant in the U.S. right now. And I want to give you an example from one of my clients. This is happening right now. She's a 21-year-old woman from Ecuador. When she was little, her mom came to the U.S. Several years later, she came to reunite with her mom and to escape gang violence and sexual assault. Her dad had abandoned her. She had nobody else in Ecuador to take care of her. She followed the laws in place at the time. She waited for months on the Mexican side of the U.S. border. She waited for an appointment with the Border Patrol to cross, to have her prints taken, her photo taken, her address given. She gave them all of her information, and she was allowed to enter into the country on something called humanitarian parole. It was a legal process. It allowed her to apply for asylum while wearing an ankle monitor, check in regularly with ICE, show up at her court dates. She did it all. She did everything they told her to do. She moved in with her mom and grandma in Brooklyn. She attended every court hearing. She retained us. We applied for asylum for her and a special status for children who've been abused or neglected by their parents. Last year, she gave birth to a little girl. ICE even took off her ankle monitor. They said, you don't have to check in anymore. You're good. She's got her work permit, started working at a bodega. She would trade off with her mom, childcare and shifts at the bodega. She was building her life. And about 3 weeks ago, she got an email from ICE. She had to come back in for a check-in. She had to bring her passport. That's all they said. They wouldn't tell us anything more. She showed up with her lawyer, my colleague, ICE said they were revoking her parole. They're placing her in expedited removal. She was going to be detained immediately, deported back to Ecuador. Her little girl was outside with her mom. We fought back. My colleague argued that she had pending applications. She had her work permit. She's got pending asylum. She got a court date 2 weeks from now. And it was a very close call. That day, ICE allowed her to leave and go home to her little girl. They said she had to come back in a month. We know what's going to happen in a month. We're preparing a habeas petition for when she gets detained and removed. We're going to have that habeas petition in place to stop her getting moved to Louisiana or Texas and then immediately deported to Ecuador. And here is the kicker. ICE went after her because she followed the rules. She gave them her information. Her fingerprints, her photos, she did everything they asked her to do. That made her a sitting duck for deportation. They knew exactly who she was. They knew she had been here less than 2 years, and therefore they were going to pull this expedited removal stunt on her. And that is what is happening all over the country right now. Just a couple days ago, I was in immigration court. All over the court, masked ICE officers. Some of them wearing these little black balaclavas, some of them wearing the COVID masks, plain clothes,
Cowards.
hanging around, chatting with each other,
Cowards.
just waiting in the hallways, waiting by the elevators, waiting by the bathrooms. They're arresting families, they're arresting pregnant women, they're arresting kids. And that's all in an effort to meet the new quotas set by the Trump administration of 3,000 arrests a day.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
This is not happening just in courthouses. They're ramping up all over the country. These raids, restaurants, laundromats, factories, apartments, homes. And the message is clear from the administration. They want us to believe that these people that are being arrested are criminals and that they are restoring the rule of law by arresting them. That is a lie. They are our neighbors and our coworkers and our family members. They are human beings who came here seeking safety and a better life, just like your grandparents, your great-grandparents, going back to the birth of this country. We got to stand together to protect immigrant families and demand justice for all of these people, regardless of their immigration status. We were all strangers here once, too.
Here, here.